Well, hi everyone, it's Bronnie here again for another day in Bronnie's World, and it is Tip Tuesday here, day 1027, I think it is. Gosh, it's really hard to sometimes keep track of them. But anyway, that's why I put it up there, what day we're up to. Well, today I have with me another one of my absolutely favourite people in the world, my friend Gracie. She lives in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. So not Melbourne in all those other countries that have Melbournes. And she is, all like me, a certified holistic health coach. And among other things, she does lots of other things. Anyway, I think Gracie, like all my guests, have a unique story. We all have different unique stories because God made us all unique. So we're all different, right? So anyway, I wanted Gracie to share her story. I've heard some of her story, but she, like some of my other guests, may slip in something I don't know. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand the floor over to Gracie and let's find out a little bit about this gorgeous lady whose youngest son just got engaged. And I saw some really nice engagement photos just recently, but just putting it out there. Anyway, Gracie, and she's just, by the way, I have to do this, she's just become a grandmother as well with her first son. So that's good. So the grandma world as well. Welcome to the grandma world, Gracie. Anyway, I'll hand it over to you now for you to tell us your story.
Awesome. Thank you, Bronnie. Thank you for having me as your guest on day 1027. It's very exciting. Thank you. And I'm happy to share my story with you, even though you've probably heard parts of it, but it's great to share with your audience and your fans and friends out there. Well, I am a grandmother. My elder boy, I've got two sons, and my eldest son had his first child 4 months ago. So little Henry James, he's gorgeous little baby, and we get to babysit him and he sleeps over so we can give the kids a break. So that's awesome when we can have our own time with him. He's so gorgeous. And so I'm here to talk about my story with longevity and how I came about improving my health over the years. So a few years back, actually, where do I start? I'm in my 50s, but from my 20s, I've been seeing naturopaths and have always been in the health and wellness side of things. Instead of taking Panadol, I'd rather put some peppermint essential oils behind my neck and on my temples, and then some lavender as well, which calms, and that usually helps with a headache. So yeah, I've always been into natural foods, making my own foods, making healthy snacks, eating well, eating clean, eating organic. So I've been doing all these things for quite a long time. But for the past 15 years or so, I've had, I guess, a lot of bowel issues and stomach issues over the years, and they kind of progressed over time. Until maybe 4 years ago, I had a work accident where I fell on some external metal stairs and twisted my body. I was lucky the customer grabbed my left arm so I didn't roll over 20 metal stairs and break my neck, but instead I twisted all my body. So there's a lot of inflammation and trauma on the body. And from there, it just, my health just kept progressing. I was very burnt out with my corporate jobs, doing a lot of hours, working for, the top managers there and being their eyes and ears and personal assistant, so to speak. It was very full on all the time, and I could manage. I was able to manage and, keep busy and do everything for everyone. I was a go-to person. So they'd come to me when they needed to know how, what to do, how to do, what's happening, the updates for everything. But that comes at a cost if you don't look after yourself.
I lost you for a second, Gracie.
I found that I'll be coming with my, and at that time I was very concerned. I really I'm more past the age of 60 to a plethora of medication, want to go down that path. So I know tests.
Okay, I think we've lost Gracie there for a second. She's frozen. We've been having a little bit of internet issues here, guys. Whether she's coming back. Are you coming back, Gracie? Can you hear me? I'm not sure if she can hear me. Well, she's popped out and she'll pop back in. We've been having a few issues before we came on here.
I just changed my interview again. I'm not sure what happened. So sorry. What did you hear up to? What was I saying? What did you hear?
Where you'd had your fall. So I've been filling in the gaps. And
okay,
corporate business.
That's fine. Yeah. And at that time, I was always into health, natural ways of doing things. You know, I've been a skincare ambassador for the last 30 years since it saved my son's face from an oil burn. So I use aloe vera based products on my skin. So I don't like using any chemicals on my body or in the house. So I've always been into low tox living as much as I can. But at that time, my mother-in-law passed away at the age of 66 due to a plethora of medication, and they couldn't find out what was wrong with her. You know, they gave her blood pressure, which helped, had other causes, and she was on so much that the poor lady just, in the end, she passed, and it was due to that, and that just, obviously broke our hearts. And we from that, I've got a passion of not wanting to get on medication. So with my health journey, getting all the tests done, the saliva, the stool test, I had brain tests, I had, so I went to see an endocrinologist and a neurologist just to make sure everything was what was happening, because I was getting headaches. My health was just not doing the best. So I resigned after 10 years at my job. I thought, no, I just cannot do these 60 hours anymore. I just can't continue. My health is just suffering. And of course, I wasn't getting all the support I needed. So it was time to make a massive change. And that was quite a hard move for me to move out of that industry. And I was basically bedridden for about 6 months. My body was aching. I could not move so much. I couldn't bend. I couldn't walk. It was just hard to get around. I had no idea what was going on. So I was on that road journey of seeing naturopaths and following all their ways and taking all their supplements to try and get myself better. I did feel better. It took a while. I felt better after I got on a Dr. Wallach call, I'll be honest. And I told him everything that was happening, and he told me about the good food, bad food list. And at that time, yes, I was having gluten, because no one's ever told me about gluten before, even though I was having a lot of gut and bowel issues. And he said, Gracie, with your IBS and your leaky gut and all the other things, you don't want to get COVID because, you may die. And I thought, oh, that really hit me. I thought, wow, that's quite intense. So maybe, so that's when I got on the phone with Dr. Wallach about 2 years ago to this day. It was almost Christmas. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, that's right, 2 years ago. And I followed I got onto the protocol and the products, because I was buying supplements from other naturopath and health food shops. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to give this stuff a go. Look, the first 6 months, I didn't do it properly. I didn't get off all the gluten. So now I understand how important it is to get off gluten, full stop. I was probably only 80-20, which is not good enough really. And I wasn't taking the supplements, the powders and the liquids consistently. So I might miss a day, I might miss a dose. I just wasn't, my head wasn't focused. And after that, so the following year, so that brings us to 2020, I think, my son got married. Yeah, that year, I ended up losing a lot of hair, having headaches, and my eyesight was playing up a little bit. And anyway, so from there, that's it. I was getting my bloods done, and then I was finally diagnosed as having autoimmunes. So leaky gut, IBS, but that was confirmed a few years back. But now I seem to have thyroiditis, a low thyroid, which they call hypothyroid, and Hashimoto's, which apparently is connected as well. So I thought, wow, that's interesting, but it made sense. Everything that Dr. Wallach said and all the information that I looked up and read the book, not all the books, but, all the information I looked into, it just made sense. It made sense that your body is depleted. My body was so depleted. My iron levels were down. I didn't have any nutrients, even though I was using supplements from naturopaths. I wondered why I wasn't getting the full effects from them. So the gluten does make a difference. The foods, a good food, bad food, in conjunction with these great, highly absorbable plant-based nutrition getting into the system, ensuring your gut is working so you can actually absorb it. And now I understand what my problem was. It was the gut. It was my liver that was, not working to the full extent it should be. So everything just makes sense. So from then, after a further 6 months of following the regime properly and having enough for my body weight, because that's another thing. You've got to have enough dose for your body weight. My body shape changed because 2 years prior to that, I put on 8 kilos in 8 months from this thyroid problem that I was meant to have. It's a lot of weight in a short time. And I don't know what I was doing wrong, because I was eating the right things. I was going for walks, even though I didn't feel the best. But so after that time, after 6 to 7 months, my husband noticed how my body shape was different. And what was happening is a lot of the inflammation and swelling in my joints just kind of slowly got better, went away. They reduced. So I could fit into my dresses from, the 2 years before that, where I couldn't do up the zips on my lovely dresses that I had for work. So slowly, the body started reshaping. I was feeding my body the nutrients it needed, because I was so obviously depleted with minerals, especially. And also, I guess, iodine, because I wasn't getting enough, probably salt and iodine in my diet either. And then from there on, Ronnie, it was mainly people look up to me, I guess, for the last 20 years. I've always been into health and wellness. And when I get onto something, or if I see something that works, I'll recommend it. So my friends are always asking, what would you do for this? What would you take for this? So, they come to me when they needed some natural, healthy and wellbeing support. So I shared this information with my girlfriends that were on medication, that had issues, and family, friends, and some colleagues. And so that's kind of how I started with longevity. And now I do this. I completed my holistic health coach course, which was offered to us. It's a great opportunity to learn about the product, understand how it works, understand the deficiencies of certain problems that people have. That was a really good course to do, and I can't wait to do it again once it's on the internet system, because it was on by Facebook. So I can't wait till I get my access to, because once you have access, you have it for life, so you can revisit that course as much as you like.
Which is great,
so from there on, as I started. Sorry?
I said, which is great, isn't it? We can refresh anytime we like.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, it's great. Once you've paid for the course, you've got it for life. It's fantastic. And so once I did that, it gave me more confidence to share more information, and then I could relate products to problems, what people needed. They always need the core 90 essentials, but then I was able to work out the other products that they needed for their particular challenges. And then from that, I've managed to... The cofactors, yes, the cofactors, very important. And I love how Dr. Wallach has put all those cofactors together, because they all work in sync, and our bodies best absorb it when they're cofactored. And then from there, I, sharing, helping people, kept on that role, because I had a passion for helping people. I don't like to see people unwell and sick. And if I know I can help them, I'm going to say something. I'm going to want to try and help them and offer it to them. So I'd be giving out samples, try this, try that, you know. And then from Ronnie, I built up a customer base slowly, you know, built up a customer base. I was on the phone, you know, coaching people, giving advice, giving information. And from that, I do this as on the side part-time business, as a one-star longevity person. And what I love about it is the support. You know, you're speaking to Dr. Wallach the other day. It's just awesome that we have him, you know, access to him every Saturday, that we can ask questions. And most of last year and half of this year, I was on those calls almost every week with someone new almost, and asking a question for a new person or new customer. So the guidance, the support is fantastic. I also have access, and I know you've been on some of our Zoom calls. We have our Dr. Kevin Grundy from New Zealand, who helps, you know, getting with some of the Zooms. And he's the same. He's happy to share his knowledge and ask and answer questions for people. And there's no extra costs. You know, you don't have to go pay these naturopaths for the information, which is what I love. They just want us to impart the correct knowledge and get these people on the right product, where we know it's going to help if they follow the regime and the routine and get off the bad foods. It does work. It does take time. It's not a miracle, you know, quick wonder, you know, product, and that's fine. It does take time, and that's why we say you've got to give it 3 months at least, because it takes 3 months for your cells to regenerate. But although what I see, people need more than that. They need at least 6 to 12 months, because most people's guts are so crashed out, aren't they? There's a lot of issues with gut. You know, they may have been on medication and you know, it's eaten away their gut lining, and then they've got ulcers from that. And, you know, we've got to start from the beginning. We've got to kind of reset, repair, rebuild the systems again. And that takes time. You know, I find
absolutely
a lot of, well, there's some people that don't have the patience for their health. They just, you know, it just doesn't work like that. You need to be patient and believe what you're doing, because it does work. It does help.
Well, as Doc Wallach would say, Gracie, as Doc would say to us, you know, you pretending, I'm 63. Okay, I'm 63. So, and say
I look awesome.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said you look awesome.
Oh, thank you. But if he would say, if I hadn't started anything right now, and I still had all the health issues I had a couple of years ago, he would say to me, well, Bronnie, for 63 years, you have been doing all this damage to your body. So you can't repair something that you've taken 63 years to get to. It's going to take time to heal itself. And I think it's actually, I know he talks about give me 90 days, but you have to be strict with that protocol. Yeah. And he also says, you know, you have to use our supplements, because he knows, as you said before, he's put the cofactors in our supplements that they need to work. Selenium's a good one. Our selenium has the cofactors it needs to do what it needs to do, and is plant-based. But the ones out on the shops, you know, the cheaper one, you know, the ones on the supermarket shelves usually are crushed up rock and have no cofactors, and that's why they don't work. People, you know, will say, oh, but I go and get vitamin C, I go and get this off the shelf. If they haven't got the cofactors, they don't do what they're designed. You know, you can't just take vitamin C or vitamin D. I had someone say to me the other day, oh, the doctor told me I'm low in vitamin D. This is one of my clients. And I said, it's not just vitamin D. You have to have all 90 or they won't work. They have to work together. They work together. Our body needs everything. It needs.
That's right.
And I picked that up in your story is what you were saying. You were doing all these things, but clearly the supplements you were given beforehand didn't have the cofactors they needed, and you weren't gluten-free. Now there's the trick.
Right. That's right. And also it's the quality. So the quality of the supplements out there, you know, there's a lot that have the synthetics in them and they don't have the high potency rate. And not just that, these ones have been absorbed by the plants. They've grown in mineral-rich soils, whereas the others hardly any. So there's the difference in quality is second to none almost. And that's why I was taking those things and it was not working as well. And yeah, so it makes sense. The quality does make sense.
Well, I mean, I can see the difference in you. I mean, when I first met you, I thought you were pretty good anyway, but I can see the changes in you. And now I know why, because you were still taking those ones you had bought before from elsewhere and you were gluten-free. And you've changed that.
And I wasn't gluten-free. Yeah.
And you changed the quality of what you were taking.
No, that's right. It was that, because I used to ask, and not all naturopaths, it was only, one or two that said, no, you're okay, have brown bread, you're okay, have rye. And, but yeah, look, and that's fine. Most naturopaths are pretty good with the advice that they give you. But I guess the difference was for me, the quality, the range, the variety of the nutrients, and I wasn't getting the 90 nutrients. So that was the main difference. Yeah. So in the end, I ended up into the, I started with the Healthy Start Pack and a bottle of Cherry Mints flavored minerals.
Yeah.
Then I swapped across after many months. I upgraded to the Heart and Brain Pack, which Dr. Wallach says it's the biggest hammer, the hammer in the toolkit. So you've got your 225 minutes. So I jumped up to that, and then I included things like Ocean's Gold for my thyroid. I included things like collagen for repair the gut, joints and skin, hair, nails and skin, that kind of thing. And what else do I have? And then
have you thought, Gracie, have you thought about, and I don't know, maybe you do, but thinking about your thyroid. I've heard docs say before, actually, Ocean's Gold and the Fucoid Z.
Oh, yes,
because
I'm on that.
From two different oceans, and he recommends actually both.
Yeah.
So I do Ocean's Gold in the morning and the Fucoid Z at night. That's what I do. I don't have a thyroid problem.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm making sure I don't have one.
You're preventing, that's right. You're ensuring you don't. And you're right. And yes, I was taking. That's right. If only I had known that. Yeah, prevention is better than a cure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like in saying that, I suffered with fibromyalgia and all sorts of things for years, and to just be able to suddenly move, and I have more energy and stuff than I had back in my 20s. I actually feel fitter and healthier now than I did way back then. Yeah. Raising 4 kids, giving birth to them and raising them. And
it's really amazing, Ronnie. I was getting eye tests because my family members wear glasses, and the optometrist has been saying to me for the last 10 years, Gracie, you're going to need glasses, come in, we're going to have to give you glasses. So what I've noticed I was on the verge of macular degeneration about 10 years ago. So that's why he's always at me. But I'll tell you something, when I went to get my eyes checked in 12 months ago nearly, he was a little bit taken aback because my eyesight had actually improved. My long-sightedness had improved. I could read the little writing on the bottom, and my eyesight was very good. It's clear. So he still offered me glasses, but I said, no, I don't need them. Why do I need to get glasses if my
Why would you ruin your eyes? I mean,
you're telling me that my eyesight.
Well, I was born with bad eyes. So, I was born with one very short-sighted eye and one very long-sighted eye. So, I will probably always need something. However, in saying that, you reminded me that, and if I run out and I'm without it for too long, but since I've been doing all this, plus the octave, I think it's called, and there's the Vision FX. At one point there, I was doing both, and it was getting to the point where I had to take my glasses off to dry because they were interfering with my driving. I'm thinking, why can't I see the road clearly? So I took my glasses off. I'm like, oh, I can see way better. Now I have a license to be able to drive without my glasses, and I do that deliberately in case, there comes, I had my glasses broken once when I first learnt to drive, and I had to get to the optometrist without my glasses on. So I always take that test, and I always pass it. However, to actually have to remove my glasses to see where I'm driving because, I couldn't read the road signs with my glasses on anymore because I'm like, wow, this is getting better. And I have a second pair of glasses for reading, right? Because I can't, I couldn't read the fine print. I haven't used them now for nearly 2 years. It'd be even more than 2 years. I haven't needed to go to them to read my Bible or to read, when I sit down to read a good book, and I'm thinking, or I used to wear them to see the screen on the computer.
That's awesome.
And I'm thinking, wow. And I do know it slips when I run out and get to my orders late getting here and I've run out. I need to double up so that I don't get rid of it. But I realised, why I keep running out? I've discovered my husband's been taking them too. I go, that's why they're not lasting. I couldn't figure it out, and I caught him one day. I thought, I think I better order 2 of those. Cheeky man.
Yeah. It's funny. It is funny. Well, it's a good thing that he's taking them. But I'll tell you something else that I've noticed improvement, which I keep forgetting to tell people. My husband knows, but for my life, I've had low blood pressure. So most times that I'd get up from the ground or get out of bed, I'd have to wait a few seconds, just to kind of wait till I get my balance and clear. So something else that's happened to me is that my blood pressure is no longer low. It's normal. So, I've helped a lot of people reduce their high blood pressure to normal and get off their meds, people in my family, for example. So they've all come from high to normal, but I've come from low to normal. So that's something else that I have to say has been fantastic for me. And also there's another product I have to say, sorry, it's a good one because not many people, I guess people talk about it, but it's called Zerafem. And what I've found the last couple of years, I used to wake up with like a fever, not hot and sweaty, but just hot, feverish. And I must admit that product has helped me in that area because I think that was all due to thyroid as well. But that Zerafem has balanced, the female side of things. And I no longer wake up with, that feverish feeling. So, there's just a couple of other things that happened to me that I don't really talk about because you kind of forget because there's a lot of little niggle things that just get better and you just kind of forget.
Well, I've forgotten. I often forget about my eyes and stuff until, you said something about your eyes. Like, oh, yeah. And it's funny like that because actually my sister asked me, one of my sisters, I have 3 of them, but one of them asked me, well, how long did you take, Bronnie, before you noticed the difference? And I said, I had to be honest, I actually don't know because it just happened. And then you think, oh, wow. hang on, how long is that? I've just been feeling so good for such a long time and happy and stuff, now that when I'm always a happy person, even when I'm at death's door, I'm still that's just me. But I hadn't, it was such a gradual thing. You just don't notice it. And you notice it, but you don't notice it. You just think, oh, like 3 years ago, I could not lift my arms up above my shoulders.
Wow. Yeah.
The things that I do for Fun Fitness Friday, I could not have done 3 years ago before I got on this and everything. And just, or especially with our core AO, which we had before we come across longevity, that made
my auntie said the same thing. That's another amazing product. The sticks are fantastic because you can just pop them in your handbag, share them out. It's much easy to
and you can take them when you travel.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
I would not be without the choreo. It was the start of my change. And then when longevity picked up thankyou and brought it over, and Doc Wallick's protocol completed what I was missing. And it just
the essentials, the core essential nutrients. Yeah.
So now I can move even better and run after our 6 grandkids.
So as we get along in age, you're becoming younger. It's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely, right. And listen, if it's to be, they say that we should live 120 years. I'm only halfway there.
Nice.
Well, actually, the last thing they predicted, these powers that be that do all these things, if you're doing everything right, life expectancy is actually now 156 or 7 or something. So I'm not even halfway there yet.
Yeah.
Half my life
way to go. So keep doing it.
I mean, look, it doesn't matter how long or short the Lord gives us. We've got to make, why not live the best life we can whilst we've got it.
That's right.
So,
yeah, that's true. I'm one of these people that have always got my fingers in all these pies, and I generally make myself busy. So I, for one, need to learn to kind of back off a little bit, because I do, I've got my job, I've got longevity, I have other projects I work with, with my husband, so a lot of things happening. Then you've got your family, you've got, you want to spend time with your kids, and I love cooking. I love, I generally cook most nights of the week, except for Friday nights, and weekends were a bit, up and down, but I love making things like raw, healthy snacks. I actually am I used to be a big sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I grew up in a bakery. My parents had a bakery, and when I was 13, and my sisters were 3 years younger each, we all used to work on a Saturday and Sunday to help the parents. So we'd have, for breakfast, we'd have the leftovers of the vanilla slice, or a donut or custard tart. My dad would make the pies, Mum would do the cakes. Can you imagine?
Totally not gluten-free.
No, exactly. I cannot believe I ate a lot of that stuff. I just had no idea. Then you go to school and you're having saladas and rolls and gluten and breakfasts and cereals, and it's like, oh my God, when I think about how we grew up and what we ate, it's like we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough fruit and veggies. I didn't drink enough water. I just wasn't. We had no idea. So I learned later in life, about what, about healthy eating, and even then, healthy eating is not what I thought it was either. With all the sprays and the chemicals and the pesticides and herbicides, and it was only probably 5-6 years ago I got onto organic, because I just rang bells. It was like, oh, for the fruit, we're eating those pesticides and herbicides.
You can wash them, but
so it's interesting.
They're still in there. They've already got into it.
Exactly.
It's like our skin. you know, sort of if
Yeah.
it can get in through your skin, it can get in through the skin of the fruit and vegetables and stuff. So, it's amazing what you can learn. This course taught me so much, and I'm thinking, and I thought I've never, I don't know it all. I still don't know it all, but like you, I thought we were eating pretty healthy, and well, it opened my eyes. It opened my eyes, and I tell you what, guys, Gracie's right. If you do this course for no other reason, the Certified Holistic Health Coaching course, for no other reason than just to help yourself, you know, just for your own family, just for yourself, you don't have to build a business out of it. It's a great knowledge base thing. We just decided that we want to help more people, didn't we, Gracie? We just want to help people have better health,
exactly
and live younger, longer with us,
right.
and have fun.
Exactly. And also to know that there is another way. It's not all about the medical industry and medication. There's other options. There's alternative options that are healthy and better for you, you know, because most people are on that one eye where, you know, got to listen to my doctor, got to, you know, go with what my doctor says, and I've got to have this medication. It's actually not like that. We've grown up to think kind of like that. And it's just, you know, there are other ways. And now we know, thanks to Dr. Wallach, that 900 diseases, he's done these 30,000 or so autopsies, and he's the one who's linked nutrient deficiencies to all these, you know, diseases and fancy things that names that doctors give out these days. A lot of that is preventable just by getting these nutrients into your body and stopping that gluten, barley, rye, wheat, oats, so to allow your intestines to work better, your gut to work better, so you can absorb the foods. So that's the reason for the no gluten, so you can absorb much better and get that most out of the nutrients, because they are 98% absorbable, and you want to be able to absorb most of it. So
exactly right.
Yeah,
and because
a lot of people do struggle with the gluten.
We want to run after our grandkids, don't we?
Hey,
I said, of course, we're both grandmothers, so you know we want to be healthy for our grandkids. No slowing down here.
Right. Exactly. And we want to impart that great knowledge to them and get them on the good stuff. Actually, I've given my daughter-in-law the kid's toddy, so she put some in his formula. So it's great. We've started, you know, I know, you know, that's a great start, you know, and eventually I'll be giving him some of those kids sprinkles and minerals.
I have a pack of those sitting here somewhere. I do, right here on my desk. See the kids sprinkles.
Cool.
They taste like watermelon.
That's it. I was
and even Doc has these, you know. He has these. He likes to sprinkle them on his gluten-free ice cream.
For the watermelon flavour. That's interesting, yeah. Well, I've got kids that love the other ones, the Benny U pine and orange flavour.
Yes,
just pop them on their tongue. They're great as well.
The probiotics. See, I have them here as well.
Nice, yeah.
And
yeah, they're very good
lots
too.
of kids that love these as well. And you can sprinkle them on stuff as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I have an 87-year-old client who is frightened she'll miss her mouth. So she sprinkles it over her breakfast. She has it on her breakfast, whatever she has.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Berries, yogurt, yeah, they're great.
But why not? I mean,
yeah, so
it works for her.
That's right.
And she's noticed the difference. So, you know, awesome. It doesn't matter how you get it down, is the point you get it there.
That's right, as long as you get it down.
Oh dear.
That's true.
Hey, listen, we've had a bit of fun here with the internet going in and out.
Yeah.
Guys, that happens to us all the time. And that's, you know, that's the beauty of having a friendship where, okay, I'll just wait for her to come back. That's okay. It's cool. I'm still hanging here. lady. But, you know, there's friendships like that, and we still learn, we still grow, and it doesn't matter where in the world we are. Like Gracie's in Victoria and I'm in New South Wales. I'm in the bush, she's in the city. And Gracie does a lot of other things too, you know, guys. So one time when the internet's not playing up so much, we might have Gracie back again if you will let me, and if she wants to, and we can talk about some of the other things she's into, like that coloured thing behind her. I learned a little bit about that.
Oh, my chakras, the chakra scarf.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always thought, now guys, I'm going to let you in a secret. I actually always thought she had that there hiding something that she didn't want to see, like maybe she'd put a fist through a wall or something. Now I know otherwise. Oh dear.
Nothing to see.
Honestly, I thought it must have been hiding something.
I've got my puzzle. I'm not sure you can see that. It's a 1,000 piece puzzle that I did. Can you see that?
Wow. Yes, I can
puzzle?
see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see my other one, my Looney Tunes one in the other corner. Sorry? I framed it. Yeah. So I can enjoy them. So that's just come off there.
My husband often says we should do that with some of the ones that we spend weeks doing. We usually this time of the year, over the Christmas break, we have one end of the table where there's, you know, a jigsaw puzzle, 1,000 pieces or more, and we just come along bit by bit every day and do a little bit. Haven't put it up yet. Haven't put one up yet to do this year. And he'll often say, "Well, we should frame these." But we don't. We end up pulling them apart.
Well, you should. That way you can bring back in the box. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You've got to have the wall space to put it on for a start. We don't have that.
That's true.
Oh, but anyway. Well,
I'm in the back. I'm in the house, and this is.
You what?
It's okay. We have a lot of wall space. I'm in the back room. This used to be the kids' billiard room and PlayStation room and table tennis room. So I've decided to make it my office. But it's got a lot of walls. So we have a lot of picture frames up. That the kids have collected over the past. So we've got a lot of frames in here. I love Elvis. So I've got Elvis. We've got Muhammad Ali.
We're Elvis fans as well.
And Rocky, and anyway. But thank you for having me, Bronnie.
Well, Gracie, thank you very much for coming and spending this little time with us. Internet carry on or not, you know, we don't let anything stop us having a good time and getting to know each other.
Yeah, awesome.
And I thank you for coming into Bronnie's world. And as I asked all my viewers, guys, to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. When you have a friend like Gracie, I call her Amazing Grace. I hear her friends call her Dr. Gracie. But anyway, when you have a friend like Gracie and who's willing to just be there for me, you know, she's, you know, if I send her a message, I don't know something, and she'll send me one back. Well, friends like that, guys, you will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave, because that's what we do here, in not just in Bronnie's world, but in our longevity world, is we all help each other out, because nobody knows everything, because we aren't God. But between us, we know a lot. We know more than the average bear. Well, guys, thank you very much for coming, and we'll catch you again tomorrow here in Bronnie's world. Bye for now. See you, Gracie.
Thank you.